You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. Another chance for us to all feel like maybe we should pack up and move somewhere else. Another one of those big surveys of the best places in Canada to live has come out.
What ranked number one?
Number one is Kelowna. So
That's surprising, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Like, I spent some time in Kelowna when I was a little kid. I really liked it there. I didn't think it was weird. So these are the 28 biggest Canadian cities ranked on livability, financial security, and safety.
Okay.
And Kelowna got a perfect score, 100 out of 100. And they said it's because it's got a low cost of living.
Which is like the polar opposite of everything I've heard about British Columbia.
Just in general, the entire province. And then you go from there, you've got Barrie is the top Ontario city. They're in at number 2.
Interesting.
Abbotsford, Sherbrooke. Sudbury's in at number 5.
Nice.
Number 6, Burlington, which out of the Code Factory, I'm not really familiar with Burlington.
It's a very nice town, yeah.
Number 7 is Oshawa.
Sorry, did you say safety was one of the proponents of this?
Security is one of the 3 pillars of how they determine this. Quality of life, and then you've got, financial security and safety. And Oshawa, 7th out of 28.
Did somebody from Oshawa have a knife behind whoever was making this list back?
They were much lower on the list until somebody came and threatened the author.
That's interesting.
Well, and I mean, even you go from there, and number 10 is Windsor.
Winsor's on
also
there,
cracked
too.
the top 10, which the only thing I know about Windsor is the one time I did a road trip to Detroit to take my kids to see their first Red Wings game. You told me don't roll your windows down in Windsor.
Yeah, they got terrible pizza and they're sketchy. I mean, Oshawa and Windsor have a lot of parallels between them.
The pizza jab feels unnecessary.
I mean, is it affordable to live in those communities? Because it used to be like a lock your doors kind of neighborhood. Maybe
Right.
It's now a lock in your mortgage kind of type thing.
I mean, maybe it's similar to number 9 on the list is Regina, which is like a city that we spent time in. And I know before I moved to Regina, and I'm sure it was same for you, like you hear the reputation of it being kind of a rough place. Then once you're in it, Regina's a really nice place to live. Like if you get out into the community, is that also Oshawa? Is Oshawa just nice and we don't know it because we're not there?
Thinking about it now in 2026, even like look in the community we live in, I think every town has a little bit of Oshawa in it. You know, like
a little slice of Oshawa.
Everybody's been townist, racist against certain communities for a very long time. I'd say Oshawa, Hamilton, Windsor are big ones in the province of Ontario for sure.
I mean, even the look on your face when I mentioned the words Oshawa or Windsor.
And we all bring up the same generic stuff, but I mean, if you look around any city or any town,
sure,
we all got a little bit of that going on now.
I love the idea of like, you know how like big cities there'll be like that's Chinatown or that's Little Italy or whatever. Just like whatever part of any city has the highest crime rate, you just rename it Little Oshawa.
Yeah, we all got a little shiv in us, you know?
A little schwa, everybody.
Yeah.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We all know the saying, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Well, apparently in Leonardo DiCaprio's house growing up, his parents believed if it's brown, just let it sit there.
Just mellow everything, baby.
I was listening to a podcast where someone talked about going to the premiere for that... what's that Leonardo DiCaprio movie that just came out a few months ago? Die Another Day or something like that.
One battle after another.
And they talk about being at the premiere. And this guy says his friend went to the bathroom at the same time as Leonardo DiCaprio's dad. Listen to this.
So halfway through the movie, my friend, Derek, gets up to go to the bathroom. And then I see Leo's dad get up and walk out immediately after. Derek comes back out, followed immediately by DiCaprio's dad. And I was like, I don't know if you noticed, you were just in the bathroom at the same time as him. And he goes, yeah, he took a big shit and didn't flush. I run into a different friend of mine because, like, I got to tell you the funniest thing. My girlfriend went to the bathroom before the movie started. She comes out, she's like, some woman took a giant shit in the stall and didn't even flush it. Who the fuck would do this? Then we sit down, they come out to do the intro. DiCaprio goes, my parents, they stand up. His girlfriend goes, it was DiCaprio's mom.
So apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio's parents both don't believe in flushing their turds.
Also, apparently had a huge pregame meal before this event to both need to go.
That feels illegal, or is that just like rich people stuff?
I mean, we've all heard cottage rules, right? If you're on a septic tank or you have limited water, then it makes sense to not always flush every single time. But I'm guessing that this event, this premiere, was taking place at a very upscale place that probably had full plumbing. Why would you not flush that?
I mean, I do know Leonardo DiCaprio had like a kind of like hippie background with his parents. Maybe that's it.
I feel like even the toilets in hippie communes usually flush somehow.
It's a weird power move, though, at the same time, you know, like almost like how dogs will like pee on things or whatever to assert their dominance.
You
there.
think the DiCaprios were marking their territory in both the men's and women's bathrooms?
And that's the thing, too, is that they both do it. You know, like a lot of people would be like, men are disgusting or whatever, but they're both as equally gross.
Well, I mean, if you've been together with someone for as long as the DiCaprios have been together, then eventually you start to take on each other's traits.
You're saying it's learned?
Maybe only one of them was a non-flusher when they started, but now at this point, just no one's flushing the toilet.
It's learned behavior.
Do you think maybe... Like the DiCaprios are wealthy people. Do you think that they have a flusher? Like, do you think they have staff, someone on staff, and that's why they're not sort of trained to flush their own toilets?
Chiefs, come in here, please.
There's a little bell on the way out of the bathroom to let the servants know, like, I've done something in here.
They walk out like Jim Carrey, like, pee.
Yeah, and somebody in like a vest and coat goes running in.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know, we were talking about Leonardo DiCaprio's parents and how they both don't flush their turds, allegedly. And, you know, in a world where there's all these gender constructs and stuff, it's nice to know that men and women are both equally disgusting in the bathroom.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Everything I have heard from like when I used to work in bars doing like DJing, karaoke and stuff like that is that some bathrooms are worse than others. I'm not trying to point any fingers.
Well, we do got a friend of the show, Ashley, on the phone. Ashley used to be a cleaner. In your opinion, who's got the grosser bathroom, men or women?
Definitely men, but like single men. Like you can tell when a man has a woman come over more frequently than when they don't. The women are like, oh, I'm sorry about the mess, but there's no mess. Like that's how it is.
Now, from a public washroom standpoint, who do you think
it's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. Like, as a female who's gone into men's public bathrooms because the women's bathrooms are always so friggin' busy. Yeah, you walk into the men's bathroom, you're like, what? Why is it so clean in here? Like, we've got, like, in our bathroom, like, we have things that, you know, we can put our feminine products in. Those things are broken off the wall and, like, spilling on the floor. Oh, my God. I was in Florida. Great example. I'm going into these bathrooms. I have to go into, like, every stall because they're all messed up. I'm like, what's happening here?
Okay. So we got Ashley's perspective here. We do also have good friend of the show, James, who you work at an elementary school here in town as a custodian. Does that change from certain ages? Is the kids, how does it work? Boys or girls bathroom? Which one's grosser?
But it's mostly boys because they don't wash their hands and they pee on the floor all the time.
I do feel like, because we're hearing from a lot of people that like women's public washrooms and like bars, restaurants, that sort of thing are tough. But in those early years, I think boys are definitely built to make a mess in there.
Oh yeah, like we have kids that come to our school and they jump on the counters where the 4 sinks are and they break the tiles in the bathrooms constantly. The girls, they just overspray perfume that you're not supposed to bring into the school. So when you walk in, you're like gagging before you get in there.
Are kids still making bat nests in the bathroom?
Sorry, what?
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about, James? Where you soak the paper towel in soap and water and you throw it up at the roof?
Yeah, it goes on the walls, the ceilings. It's everywhere.
I've never heard the term bat nest before. That's great.
Yeah, that's been going on for years.
You know what? I say a lot of things about the younger generation and how corrupt they are, but it's good to see they still got a little bit of me in there, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of Brocks to go to this school.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
heads up, apparently Tim Hortons is doing a massive recall on thousands of mugs that may burn you if you fill them with hot liquid.
I saw that. Yeah, it's like a pink and white donut mug of some sort that they were selling for a while there.
Yeah, some sort of specialty item that they were selling in January and February at various locations. And Health Canada has warned people that the mug may crack or break if you actually put coffee inside of it.
To be fair to Tim Hortons and their parent company, who could have possibly expected people buying a mug from a coffee store would have put something warm inside the cup? I would have just assumed juices, waters, that sort of thing.
I mean, I was going to make the joke, like, how does a coffee chain mess something like this up? But I think we've all been through a Tim Hortons recently.
You know what it is? So it's one of those, it's like a ceramic style mug, right? Those have to go through a kiln to get like hardened and glazed. It's probably just like the bagels. It just didn't get toasted enough the first time.
That's exactly it.
They didn't put it through the second time. That's the problem.
Same recipe, right?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast. This is Brock and Dalby's $15,000 big bag of cash.
Will you keep what you got or take another shot?
All right, we are joined on the line by Becky this morning. Becky, how you doing, girl?
I am fantastic.
All right, the robots picked you. Hopefully we're giving you some cash this morning. You need some money?
I do. My EI ran out and I don't have a job.
All right, well, that's going to make this even more devastating because you do understand how it can go wrong, right? If you open too many vaults, you get nothing.
Listen, I had nothing before you called me. It's not going to hurt.
Okay. All right. We'll get into it here. You know that the first vault is guaranteed money. So let's see what is in vault number 1. You ready?
All right, let's go.
$399.
$399 off the top. How do you feel about that, Becky?
Oh.
That's a hot
I may
start.
have to pee a little.
That's more than an EI check.
Yes. Let's go again, guys.
We're going again, vault 2.
$575.
$575, Becky. Does this change
God.
your mind? Where are we sitting at right now?
I'm shaking more than the road. All the potholes.
So yesterday, we had 10 vaults that had money in it. That is no guarantee either way today, but you're $575. Do we go another vault?
Oh my God, I'm shaking. Like I said, I had nothing this morning, so let's go one more.
I like your style. I like your
God.
style. Okay, you ready?
My life is nothing but bad luck. Yes.
Let's take a big breath together before we do this.
Yeah.
Breathe in.
Okay. Go.
Breathe out. All right,
Okay.
here we go.
$633.
$633, Becky.
Okay. I'm going to stop.
I think that's probably for the best.
Are you sure?
Yeah, my whole life is bad luck. This is like amazing that I've gotten this far.
All right, Becky, congratulations. $633 is yours. Now the cruel
Thank you,
part
guys.
is we do have to open the rest of the vaults.
We have to see what was
Yes.
left on the table.
That's okay. Let's
All right.
do it.
We stopped at vault 3. Let's go to vault 4 here.
Wow, Becky, you stopped right in time.
Your intuition was right.
Oh my God. Okay. That's never happens to me.
Things are turning up Becky this morning.
Oh, thank you guys.
$633. What are you going to do with that money?
Probably buy some food.
Probably a good call. That's probably the best way to spend the money. And $633, they can get you almost half a cart of groceries these days.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, 4 bags instead of 2. Awesome.
Well, congratulations, Becky. We are so happy for you. You pulled out at
Thank
just the
you.
right time.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to keep you on hold here, and we'll get some more info from you and explain how we can give you that money, all right?
Awesome, guys.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've talked about on the show before flying pet peeves, airport pet peeves, all that kind of stuff.
So many things to piss you off when you're trying to get somewhere.
Here's a new one that you can add to the list. Flying on a plane with a dead body.
It's a very specific one, but yeah, that would suck.
Pretty crazy story. Listen to this. British Airways flight from Hong Kong to London turned pretty tragic after sadly a passenger in her 60s passed away just about an hour after takeoff.
Oh, no.
But rather than diverting, the pilots elected to continue the 14-hour journey to London.
Sorry, 1 hour into a 14-hour flight, and they're like, no, we got this. We can keep going.
The decision, they say, while uncomfortable, is not unusual. They say that once a passenger has passed away, it is generally not considered a medical emergency.
Well, sure, I guess from the perspective of like, well, we weren't going to bring her back. But that doesn't mean she just becomes luggage. Like, what?
So what they did actually was they wrapped and placed her body, basically, you know where the flight attendants hang out, where they have all the food and everything like that there?
Where the beverage cart comes out from?
Yeah, they kind of just covered her with some blankets and like laid her down over there.
No.
Apparently the original idea was to put her in like the lavatory in the bathroom, but that got nixed pretty hard.
Well, I mean, if it's the only bathroom on the plane, it's a 14-hour flight, and you've got however many people on there, you can't have them all of a sudden have no bathroom service. But
so people were on this plane for 13 hours, apparently complaining about the stench of the corpse over time.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know much about like decomp times other than having watched a ton of CSI when I was in college, but like, it's also probably a lot of mental. Like, even if there's nothing happening, your brain is telling you there's a dead body on this plane.
Pretty tough to explain to a kid if you got them on the plane or something, you know?
Grandma, how come she's got all those sheets on? Like, you know what? We'll talk about it when we get on the ground.
Well, and you want to talk about the smell, too, if you know anything about, like, bodies after they pass away, like everything kind of flushes out, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. I honestly feel awful for those flight attendants who I assume had to do the bulk of the work in terms of dealing with that situation.
Well, even imagine being the person that sat beside the person who died.
If I'm being honest, the people sitting next to the person who unfortunately passed away are probably the only ones that are like, yeah, take that to the back. Go put that somewhere else.
I mean, I guess one of the perks is you get a little extra leg room too.
Stretch your elbows out a little bit. I cannot believe they don't put that plane down on the ground somewhere. Like, unless you are directly over the ocean, land the friggin' plane, man. Let's do something.
Pilot's
here.
like, I got dinner plans at 6.
Yeah, I got a reservation and I'm not missing it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So after talking about that flight that kept a dead body on it for 13 hours, I was curious, how often does things like this happen on commercial airlines?
How often do people die mid-flight?
Yeah, apparently 1 death per 3.2 million passengers.
Okay.
Is what they say.
I mean, that's not the worst. That's still an uncomfortable number, but that's a lot of flights.
It's broken down. 36 deaths occurred across 7.2 million flights over the past 2 years.
Okay. I mean, every death is a tragedy for the most part, but that's again a little more comforting.
Now the thing is 7.2 million flights over a 2-year period. I looked up how many flights worldwide operate a day commercially. That's approximately 100,000 flights a day.
Damn.
So essentially, once a month, something like this happens.
Yeah, you just got to really hope that it's not someone on your plane, or more specifically, not your aisle.
Yeah,
when it does.
I mean, I guess that's the thing you got to think about. That, like, is your flight next? You know.
The other thing to think about too is like part of the reason this story is such a big one is because it's a 14-hour flight and it's 13 hours remaining after the lady unfortunately passes away. If you're on just like a little puddle jumper 30-minute, 60-minute flight and this happens, like, still a bummer, but you'll probably get through it and just have a story to tell.
Do you know, like, you know, when you go to the airport, flights get delayed all the time and stuff, and you know, you're waiting at the gate for the next plane to arrive, and then they're like, "Hey, we gotta handle a situation here." If someone died in your seat, on the plane, you know, on the flight previous,
do you get in and go? I guess they'll never tell you what seat it is.
Yeah.
But even just the idea that the plane you're about to get on has to first evacuate a corpse before you can walk on.
Do they have someone go through and like smudge it, or like, because I mean, like, even you always hear about how disgusting planes are. There's no way they're cleaning that properly.
We were talking about a couple of weeks ago, I think it was like Southwest Airlines in the States was saying that only Premium Plus package customers were going to get their seats wiped down in between flights. That was a new thing they were testing out. Feel like you got to break out the Lysol wipes if someone dies in the sea,
Do they treat it kind of like a real estate agent? Like you can't find out about the death unless you ask?
They're not obligated to tell you.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to take that plane back to the hangar. Like there's got to be another plane we can bring out to fly as a replacement.
At least like 2 free drinks, you know?
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
A man in New York City has been accused of robbing multiple banks across the city. He robbed about 6 banks and only walked away with $605.
What banks was he going to? That sucks.
So apparently earlier this month, between March 13th and 17th, the guy entered 6 separate banks locations in Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, in the Bronx. Investigators said he handed tellers handwritten notes demanding cash and warning that people would get hurt if they did not cooperate. However, all of the tellers claimed that he did not have a weapon on him, so I guess they just didn't feel scared.
They just didn't. There was no pressure.
Out of the 6 attempts, he managed to get money only 3 times.
Damn.
$320 from one place, $265 from another one, and $20 at a bank in Harlem.
They just gave him what they had in their pocket?
My man committed 6 consecutive federal offenses in 5 days and didn't even make enough to cover a month's rent.
That's wild, man. Like, usually when you find yourself doing something like this, it's because you've fallen on hard times. You're desperate. How much of a blow to your self-esteem is it to find out you're not even good at robbing banks?
I think the quality, not quantity rule applies to how many banks you're supposed to rob.
One good bank is all you need. 6 is too much.
It's not even a crime spree. It's like a part-time job with worse pay.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Delby Podcast.
We are going to play.
So what's your f***ing excuse?
And something that I had to come up with an excuse for all the time as a young man was, why does it smell like weed in here?
Yeah, what's that? What's that new spray you've got in your room there? That's an interesting smell.
So if you're not one of our dope heads here this morning, that does make you a judge. So please judge accordingly. 762-555. Who has the best excuse? Let's start with this one from Quentin here.
Oh man, why does it smell like weed? Oh, Mom, the heck, you left the freaking kitchen window open and the neighbors were out back about 5 minutes ago. What do you expect?
Couldn't be coming from inside the house, Mom. That's definitely next door.
That's a good one. All right, here's another.
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, I don't know. I had the window open there. I think the neighbor, he is having a puff outside. I don't know. I just come home. It smells in here. Certainly isn't me, man.
All right, same excuse.
Crazy that everybody's neighbors are just deep into the weeds.
These days?
Yeah, honestly.
All right, here's Sam.
The dog had diarrhea all morning. I just finished cleaning it up, and when I finished, I opened up the window, and I looked out the window, and there's a skunk rolling by, so I'm guessing that's what you're smelling. It's definitely not the marijuanas.
Definitely not the marijuana.
Skunk is a classic one. Also, throwing an S on the end of marijuana will make me giggle 100% of the time.
Blaming the dog, too. That's cruel.
Yeah, man.
That's cruel. All right, here's one from Blake.
Hey, guys, it's Blake. So, not my story, but actually a buddy of mine. Back when he was in high school, he had some weed on him, and he got into his grandparents' car, and they could smell it on him. They're like, hey, what is that I'm smelling right now? And the best excuse he could come up with is, my buddy had this really, really good kielbasa at school today, and he gave me some of it, so it's in my backpack. That might be what you'd be smelling right now.
I have had
the goofiest thing I ever heard. So
I have had more than my share of kielbasa over the years. I have never once opened the fridge and been like, man, it smells like weed.
Remember, we were looking for the best excuses here this morning.
That's maybe the worst.
All right, we'll do a couple more here.
Hey guys, it's Cameron. My excuse is, it was my dad.
That's true, actually. If you've got parents or like partners or whatever that do that sort of thing, you have the built-in smoke screen of like, couldn't have been me. Must have been them.
I learned it from him.
Yeah.
I think that's the winner, to be honest.
That's honestly, we might need to check Cameron's ID to see if he's allowed to win lottery tickets, but that's the best one.
Blaming it on your dad? Top tier stuff right there. You get the ding, the round of applause, and $100 in Lotto 649 tickets.
You might have to give those tickets to your dad, which, I mean, you kind of owe him for selling him out on the show like that, but it's a fair deal.
He sounds pretty cool, by the way, so I think he'll be all right with it.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Happy belated National Proposal Day to anybody who celebrated over the weekend.
Well, hopefully my girlfriend's not listening right now because we totally bailed on that one.
Well, listen, she missed the date. She's going to have to wait until next year. Mark March 20th down on your calendars. I did see, the only reason I saw that this was a thing, though, is, you know, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
They were celebrating with a one-day only sort of event promotion where they were giving away iDough ring boxes where you could get, you know, when you buy a ring, comes in a little flip top box so that you can do the proposal.
Yeah.
Well, they were selling those, but with a donut hole inside, like a Timbit, or what they call the munchkins, so that you'd pop it open and it was just a single donut hole in there.
Every girl's dream, right?
Well, and that's what I was like, first of all, if you get on one knee and offer your partner a single Timbit, I don't feel like that's a great basis for the relationship.
I mean, I guess it depends on maybe like your circumstances or something. I will say, anytime that Courtney is a little bit hungry, if I bring her food, it completely changes her whole mindset and attitude. So
also, though, like, I get that they sell these munchkins, these Timbits, these donut holes, but like, donuts are ring shaped. Literally, you had mini donuts right there and you chose not to use them.
That would have been the bigger move, yeah.
Way better option if you were, even as a joke, to drop on one knee and open the little ring box and propose to somebody. Put a ring-shaped food in there.
Well, it's like the classic Simpsons thing where Homer proposes with the onion ring.
Yeah, honestly. Or even, you know, if onion rings are too big, you don't want to finger shame anybody. Just get those little calamari rings and slide that on there. Although saying it out loud, maybe seafood isn't the most romantic food either.
It is interesting when people bring food into a proposal because there's a lot of people that'll do the hiding the ring in like a piece of cake or whatever. And I've seen videos online where people end up eating it. And then,
that always stresses me out. I feel like it's more of a trope, or at least maybe I hope it's more of a trope in like TV and movies. But I've always worried, like, when they'll put it in like pudding or something that's not meant to be chewed, something that's just meant to go down. And it's like, you spent $2,000 or whatever it is on a ring that you may have to start digging for in the toilet. That's not romance.
Listen, you wanted them to find the ring. They can, if they swallow it, they can find it.
What a great prank to be like, babe, there was an engagement ring in your dessert. You're going to have to dig it up now.
We're all in search of love, aren't we? Some of us just have to look a little bit harder sometimes.
Love is never at the bottom of the bowl.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You should send us a text right now. 762-555 is the number to text. You can ask us a question and we'll read it on the radio in just a couple minutes. 762-555. Ask us a question, a comment, or a concern. 762-555. Send us a text because it's Text is Tuesday.
It still blows my mind that that's John Tesh.
Little round ball text, I guess you could say.
Bubble, 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 basketball.
If you want to text us, you can right now. 762-555. Anything that's on your beautiful brain. First question in here says, what did you think was a waste of money until you tried it and realized it was worth it?
Ooh, interesting. You know what? Massage. Like going to a place for a massage. I always just thought like, it's just overpriced. You know, it's all bells and whistles.
Was that you spending money or you finally getting benefits, though?
You know, honestly, now that you say it out loud, could have been either way.
I feel like most of us don't do a lot of that stuff till we get benefits. I'd say actually spending money.
Yeah.
hiring movers.
Throughout
like all of my 20s, I would just get a U-Haul or whatever, borrow someone's truck.
Beer and pizza, get your friends.
But like when we actually finally did like a big move into our house, like actually having like, and being able to sit there and be like, put that over there.
Right. Yeah. Especially if you have the money. Even that next level of getting your movers to pack for you, like put everything in the boxes.
Game changer.
Change your whole friggin' life, man. I can't go back.
100%. Someone said, how many unrolled roll-up the rim cups do you think are on the side of the road right now?
I mean, more than I'm comfortable with. That's the thing, is like not everybody plays the game, and then there's this weird Venn diagram of people who finish a coffee and don't play roll-up, but somehow think that the window is where it should go.
If you won one of the big prizes, like a car or money or something, would there be any issues with that? Because remember there was that big story 10, 15 years ago about the person who found the cup in the garbage can, and that was a whole problem?
I mean, I just wouldn't tell anyone, right? Like, that wouldn't be the first thing I would volunteer. Is like, I found this cup on the side of the highway. If I found a cup, decided to roll it up, and it had a major prize, that's not the part of the story I'm telling. All you need to know is I have the winning ticket. Give me my truck.
I do like the idea that there's someone going around looking at all these Tim Hortons cups on the ground, like how smokers do when they kick a pack of cigarettes that they see on the ground to see if there's a little weight in it.
Roll the cup over a little bit. It's already been gnawed off. Ah, damn it.
Someone said, do you think people that work at the CRA get an extra hookup for their taxes? I think that was actually a problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, people were doing things that they weren't supposed to do. I believe, according to the letter of the law, no one is above the tax system in the country. Like, it doesn't matter what your job is, you still have the same thing. They probably just have access to people who can better help them know what to put on each line. But I don't think they get like an extra deductible.
I mean, even just a thought that I had now, do you think people that work for the CRA, if they go on a date with someone, they look up their information to see how their credit score is and whatnot?
I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do. I am saying it would be hard not to do. You know what I mean? Like, if you had access to that information and you were meeting somebody for the first time, I would want to know stuff about them.
Well, it's like in a movie when you see someone, it's like, oh, their dad's a cop, so they look up the guy that their daughter's dating just to see his background or whatever, right?
Oh, 6 audits in the last 7 years, eh? Well, I guess I'm paying for dinner.
Eric wants to know, do you guys think winter is over yet? I am not claiming anything.
No. Well, I mean, listen, from a calendar standpoint, yes, winter is over. This is spring. The thing is that in Canada, spring and winter mean the same thing for a chunk of time.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and tell people the winter is over, but it doesn't mean you should go get your summers on.
Doesn't mean anything what anybody says. All right, final one here says, have either of you ever had an idea that was worth an invention?
Brother, today we will post the 502nd episode of our podcast. We are on season 6 of this show. We have had hundreds of ideas to invent stuff.
No investors, though. You know what actually was one that a lot of people like? This is going back maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Was, remember, I had the idea to open a store that just sold lids for Tupperware?
That's right. Yeah. And you were going to call it Lids until I reminded you that there is a franchise with that name already.
If you don't remember this, I had this idea that how often do you look at your Tupperware and all the lids are missing?
Right.
If you could just have a store where you're like, this is what it is, and then you could just go and find maybe even if you created like a Value Village section where people just bring in like their miscellaneous Tupperware.
Right, yeah.
And then you can mix and match them together.
Instead of take a penny, leave a penny, it's take a lid, leave a lid.
Yes. Yes.
If you've got extra lids, we'll take them. But if you're missing a lid, maybe we've got what you need.
Someone hit up that guy that owns Boston Pizza. This is $1 million idea.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.